Together we witnessed one of the most delightful in our time. So, let the bass go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, got some information for you today. We're going to give y'all a little bit of taste of what we working on. Now, we're going to have some unchained melodies playing in the background for now. Ladies and gentlemen, we found this out last week, but what can I tell you? I told everybody I'm going to be out of pocket. That's right. I'm going to be gone for 3 days and will not be talking about any of this for 3 days. I begged people. That's right. I said I begged people not to call me. I said, this is my time. I told them, I said, this is my weekend. I said from the 15th to the 17th, do not call me. Y'all know what they did. I don't even have to tell you what they did. Not only did I receive 1 call, not only did I receive 2 calls, not only did I receive 30 calls from the 15th to the 17th, but I received text messages. Can you believe it? And emails. Now the emails is okay because you don't know where I is. I can get to them later. That's mail. You can take care of mail anytime. So I'm not talking about you people. The only thing I say to your emailers is you're asking me questions. And I've asked y'all not to ask me no more questions. I'm not your repository for information. You asking me questions because you didn't get an understanding. Well, go get your understanding from someplace else. Don't be asking me no questions. There's too many of y'all to be asking questions. I would never have time for myself like I wanted on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What was going on? Y'all want to know? I'm going to tell you. Didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. These people throughout the planet known as Jehovah's Witnesses, they have these things called conventions, where they convent together, and then they shins, and so they convention together, and they do it around the entire world. That's right, around the entire world they do this, and we all receive the same information. It's like a unification type thing. 3 times a year they do this. As I mentioned before, one is 1 day, it's called special. The other one's 2 day, and guess what? It's actually called 2 day. It's actually called the 2-day convention or assembly. And then the other one is the 3-day convention or district convention. Well, no, the other 2 day is actually called circuit because we have circuits and districts. But ladies and gentlemen, that only happens once a year, the district one. So it's kind of special to people like me. So I wanted to concentrate on the information. But I couldn't do that because my phone kept vibrating in my pocket. But you say, why didn't you just leave your phone at the hotel? Because I couldn't. Because there are people who are muy important. And so if there's an emergency, they can get in contact with me. So I must hold on to it, but that's none of y'all business. I could not get no time to myself. So here is me letting everybody know. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. Because a few people decided that they wanted to ignore my wishes, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you. I was patient. I told one gentleman the night before, hey, it's 8:30. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to sleep. Well, it's only going to take 5 minutes. 45 minutes later. Guys, I'm about to hang up. Okay? That's what I'm going through, people. So, because of the many few who think that they're so important, that their issues are more important, and that their needs are more important, we're going to have to do the following. When I move, many of you will not be getting a new number. Don't take it personal. I mean, it is personal, but don't take it personal because it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the minute few.
Well, why don't you just change it and don't give them the number?
Because we already tried that. I changed my number earlier this year. Remember? And I gave it to a selected few. And then they took advantage of it. So, in order for me to be able to research and do my studying and do the calling that I need to call, and I must tell you, this morning, this is Monday, when I told everybody I would be back in town, I actually told several people to give me a call Monday morning. I have not received a single call all morning. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh at that. When you tell people not to do something, they do it anyway. When you tell them to do something, they don't do it. I guess that's the Adam syndrome that we all have in us. All right. Enough of my ranting and venting, but I just wanted to let y'all know what's going on and why it's happening the way it's happening. Now, let me let y'all know what we found out last week. We were making all these calls, okay? And when we made all of these calls, we found out something. The homes are insured through HUD, Housing and Urban Development. But we knew that, didn't we? When all of you got your loans, were they not HUD loans? If you were a first-time home buyer, because of the incentives for the first-time home buyers, did you not get a HUD loan? So that's who was insuring the loans. Ladies and gentlemen, this document is going to be entitled HUD Regional Office Document. It has, look at that, oh God, look at that, it has tons of numbers, direct numbers, not 800 numbers. Look at that, people. Okay, what we're doing here is we're going to put this up on the PDF section of the site. It will be up today. Why are we putting this information for you all? Well, they do have 800 numbers. I want you to know that. Now, most of these are for Fair Housing Act, where FHA, Fair Housing Administration. Most of these are those numbers. However, call and ask your questions. You know your home was insured. I know it was insured. You know it was insured. They know it was insured. Now, we gonna get to something juicy. I'm gonna play the man's name because I told the man to call me back and he never called me back, even though he promises to call me back. He ain't called me back yet. All right? So I'm gonna put his name. I'm gonna put the conversation up. I want you to know something, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to pay attention because I don't want you to misunderstand me. I'm about to play the whole conversation, but for a minute of the conversation, I cannot play a single thing because it's personal information there for someone else, not for me. So I cannot play that. You got me? You're not going to be missing anything. You're going to be missing just him asking me for the information on the account. So it's going to be about a minute, and so I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to let it continue. Oh, and there won't be no music playing in the background because there was no music playing in the background when the call was made. So y'all going to have to go find out what love is someplace else. All right. We're going to minimize this. Why don't we pause this now? If we pause it now, we won't have to pause it later. Oh, my heart will go. Oh. Anyway, we're going to pause. Pause it. All right, let's play the call. The volume is up as high as it's going to go, so if you can't hear,
Go get Granny's amplifier that she puts up to her ear so she can hear better.
and leave me alone about the volume.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Stuart Walden at USDA. May I speak to Brent Jones, please?
This is he.
Hey, Mr. Jones. I got a note that you called in and had some questions about a loan that might be paid off and had some escrow issues. Did I reach the right person?
You did reach the right person.
Okay. How can I help you?
The issue is, as I was explaining to the last gentleman that I spoke to and the young lady before him and for the last month and a half, is the Housing Act of 1930.
And yes, I know it's 1948, so for those of you who want to correct me, kiss my grits.
1938, excuse me. The government, U.S. government, backs up all conventional loans by 90%. The Wells Fargo Bank ended up applying for the insurance of the loan, that 90%, and the government paid. I subsequently paid off the loan through my account, and Wells Fargo failed to document that. So we've asked for a statement of account from Wells Fargo to determine what they've received, what they haven't received. They've confirmed that they were overpaid, that they did get the insurance. They did confirm that with us, but they are refusing to provide us with a statement of account. So I'm needing to get in touch with the section of the United States Department of Agriculture who secures all conventional loans for up to 90%, and to find out how do we go about getting my funds back, which Wells Fargo is now deciding that they're going to stall.
So did the loan, did you pay off the loan?
Yes,
or did
I did.
the loan go into foreclosure?
It went into foreclosure, but because they attached it to the credit of my best friend, I paid off the loan, not knowing that they had already received the funds 30 days after they filed the notice of default.
So you're not the borrower?
No. I'm the agent assigned to the account and the one who paid off the loan.
Who's the borrower?
Now, at that point, we going to be giving the borrower's name and some personal information. I don't want y'all to be knowing all that. That ain't none of y'all's business. If you think it's your business, I have a room in my house where I go do business, and I'll deposit your business right there, and you can come collect it. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Y'all hold on now. I got to pause y'all. Now, see, that wasn't that long, was it? Let's go on.
City and state?
Palmdale, California, 93551.
Okay. And are you dealing with anyone at Wells Fargo?
I was dealing with their executive offices, but we were getting nowhere, so I ended up calling the Consumer Fraud Protection Bureau, and they filed a complaint, and so they've been acting as emissaries.
Could I ask you to pick up your phone? I can barely make you out. I'm
sorry. That's because I walked over to where the papers were. I apologize.
No.
You can hear me better now?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
Okay.
For doing that.
I filed a complaint with the Department of Consumer Fraud Protection, and with that complaint, they subsequently went ahead and filed it and gave it to Wells Fargo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let y'all listen to the rest of this, but the reason why I'm playing this, there are three. I'm going to highlight two of them. This man asked me a question. He says, whom did you pay? Watch him. He's going to say, who did you pay? Did you pay the United States Treasury? Whoa, wait a minute. I thought the United States Treasury ain't had nothing to do with this. I thought the United States Treasury didn't pay off these loans. So why would the USDA be asking me, did I pay the United States Treasury Department? Interesting, ain't it? I didn't catch it then. I caught it this morning when I was re-listening to the broadcast. So I want you to pay attention to him saying that. Then I want you to pay attention to this man telling me about how the loans are backed up. He's going to actually give a phrase. When you hear that phrase, you're going to hear a ding. When you hear the ding, that means grab your pen and write it down. Ding! So start with the pen. Start writing down the things this man says, so y'all will know what y'all should be asking about. Remember, you supposed to be doing what I'm doing. Remember, they called me back because I asked the right questions. Now, I'm going to shut up and let y'all listen to the rest.
Fargo, and so they've been asking for more time. That was 2 months ago. But this has been going on 3 years now.
And who did do you have any names or contacts at Wells Fargo you're conferring with?
Yes, I do. Give me a second to find that letter, and that letter should be easier to find, so it'll be just 1 second. Sorry, I just made copies of it, so I just need to find the right one, because I have the letter here where it says the account balance is now at 0. Well, I guess it's not going to be that easy. If we can continue to talk, I will pull up the letter that has his name and extension.
Okay, no, that's fine. And so you paid off the loan for a friend or a relative. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. But so you went ahead and paid off the loan prior to foreclosure sale or after foreclosure sale?
After the foreclosure sale.
Ding!
Okay, so who did you pay off?
ASC.
Did you pay off the Department of Treasury or Wells Fargo or who?
ASC.
He asked me that I pay off the Department of Treasury. Ladies and gentlemen, if the Department of Treasury's name was on that note, then I would have had to pay them off. If I had an agreement with the Department of Treasury, then I would have to pay them off. So why would he mention the United States Department of Treasury? I didn't. You don't hear it anywhere in the conversation where I brought it up. He brought it up. So do not think that they don't know what's going on. Sorry, microphone was tilted up. Do not, for your life, for a minute, for a second, for an hour, think that these idiots do not know what's going on. And we're going to pause that audio for a second because he's going to say mo. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Nobody was bringing it up before I opened my big mouth. That's right, I said it. I said I got a big mouth. That's right. And Run DMC didn't tell me that. Oh, y'all don't. Houdini didn't tell me that. Okay. The Fat Boys didn't tell me that. I got a big mouth because that's what I got. And I'm pretty effective of using it. But my big mouth did not bring up the United States Treasury Department. So why would he mention the U.S. Treasury Department? I'll tell you why. Because the whole issue here is insurance. It's been insurance from day one. And you didn't hear anybody talking about the insurance from the U.S. government until this man started opening his mouth. Why? Because,
as I told many of you, my mama used to make us watch the news when we were younger. 6 o'clock every night, we were sitting around that color television. That's right, we had a color television now. Anyway, and we watched the evening news. Walter Cronkite. Y'all remember Walter? Y'all remember Walter? I remember Walter. So we used to sit up there and watch the evening news. And as we watched the evening news, there was something going on in the late 80s. Now, I was an adult then, but I was still watching the news. I was trained to watch the news. That's when the news was almost news. Y'all remember them days? Well, guess what happened? There was this guy. His name was Keating. Y'all remember Keating? Gene Keating, I believe his name was. Now, I ain't heard about Gene in a long time, but I remember
I know exactly what he looks like, because they plastered his picture all over the news because he was the poster child for the savings and loan debacle. Y'all don't know about the savings and loans, do y'all? But the savings and loan banks were doing the same thing that these banks are doing today. And there was a housing market crash then. So Ronald, the Reagan, got up there and said, I'm not going to do his voice because I'm not Rich Little. Y'all remember Rich Little, don't y'all? Huh? Y'all got to remember Rich Little. Well, anyway, Ronald Reagan got on television. He said, my fellow Americans, my drug addicts, my Alzheimerians, my dysfunctionals, we had a problem. There were some banksters sitting up here being banksters, and it made us look bad. We didn't want y'all to know. It was too soon for y'all to know what we've been doing. So we gonna set examples. We're gonna close all these savings and loans. Why are we gonna close all of these savings and loan banks? Because they done ran their course. We done took them for everything we could. We done took y'all for everything we could too. Pretty big distraction, huh? We don't want y'all knowing about the Iran-Contra scandal that's going to happen a couple of months from now, where it's all going to come out and then y'all going to know what we've been doing all these years for most of this money. But just so y'all know, this is a camouflage. It's a distraction. And so with that distraction, the government came in and they said, we're going to play the roles of Captain Save-A-Hole. That's right. We are going to let the world know that we're not going to let this happen again. We're going to prevent this from happening in the future. So we're going to back up every loan by 90%. This will help the investors, and this will help the homeowners, the home buyers, letting them know that the loan is guaranteed by the United States government. Go ahead and look at your mortgage note. Go ahead and look at your loan docs, and I guarantee you HUD is somewhere on those documents. Guaranteed. And what is HUD? Is it not a department within the United States Department of Agriculture? It's all insurance, people. It's been insurance from day one. We've been asking the wrong questions and saying the wrong things. What you should be saying is 30 days after you went into default and they said you were in default, they applied for a loan through HUD. So you need to be doing, not saying you're going to get it, you need to be doing FOIA requests to the banks. Now, how can I do a FOIA request on the bank? FOIA stands for Freedom of Information Act. It's federal. The banks are not federal. Well, according to Title 12 of the United States Code, Section 411, they are a member bank of the Federal Reserve System, i.e. an agent of the federal bank. If they're an agent of the Federal Reserve Bank, that makes them federal. So a FOIA request is exactly what you send them, and you do just like we did in that letter. We did an update on it, that all corpse document that we worked on in our last video. We did an update on that. We included the FOIA request information, and we made it look more like an outline. Okay, enough of that. If it's about insurance, you know the home was insured, then we need to be reporting fraud. Not only to the IRS, but to HUD. Now that's why I put those numbers up there, and we're going to put them up on the site so that y'all all can see that. We're going to continue with the conversation, all right?
ASC, American Servicing Corporation, they are Wells Fargo's servicing company.
And you paid this off directly, not through the borrower?
Not through the borrower, directly through my account.
And so you're looking for a refund of dollars. I mean, is the property now in your name?
No, the property, because they had foreclosed on it and sold the property, it was the fact that it was still showing up on the individual's credit. And I had promised him that I would definitely go ahead and take care of that because he has a government job. and with it being on his credit, it would have affected his trustworthiness, and it would have affected his employment. So it needed to be paid off.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, at this point in time, you're looking for a refund of proceeds. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And the fact is, they admit that they were overpaid. But as far as sending me a statement of account, as far as answering the FOIA request, they are not even attempting to try to respond to any of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I'll do is I'll make some inquiries to see what I can do and who I can get a hold of, and then I will call you back. Is that fair?
Yes, my best, the one thing that I'm more interested in than anything else is, like I said, I know that the Act requires that the government support those loans because they were having that problem back then, the economic problem. So the government backed up all loans. So, and I do have that individual's name and number finally. But it's the actual section with the USDA where they do back up all conventional loans. That's what I'm needing. I confirmed that through the California section that, yes, all loans are backed.
Ding!
Loans are backed up by 90%, all conventional loans, not the ones that are not private. So they did confirm that. But they,
what do you mean all conventional loans? I'm not sure I understand that.
Well, like for instance, in 2008, when they had this big, huge crisis with the mortgages, back in 1939, the mortgage companies, the banks weren't lending any money. They weren't selling homes to people. So the government created what's called the Housing Act, which said the government...
The Housing Act of 1949.
Is it 49? I thought it was 38. I apologize. And that's my fault.
Good.
But the government said that it will step in and it will shore up the loans. In other words, it will back those loans up by guaranteeing them up to 90%, so that the banks would feel more comfortable about lending. Now, of course.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Walden, the gentleman that I'm speaking to, the gentleman who called me, this is his number. He hasn't returned my call. Will y'all please call him for me? Let me enlarge this number so y'all can see it. Would y'all please call Mr. Walden and tell him that he promised to call Brett back. He only knows me as Brett. I don't have a last name when I call these idiots. So, Mr. Walden, this is his number. This is cell phone number. I want y'all to do me the favor. If I'm doing y'all this favor and making these calls and putting them online for you so you can know what you should be asking and not be asking, then y'all can dial a simple number and tell Mr. Walden that he promised to call me back and ask him for the information regarding these loans and how they are insured. Now Mr. Walden is going to tell us the name of how they're insured. Watch.
Now, of course, a lot of people didn't know about that, but it's been talked about over the years. That's how I know about it. I'm looking for that department who backs up all the conventional loans.
The only loan we would back up is if it had an individual guarantee at the time of origination, which I'm guessing this loan did.
Ladies and gentlemen, he said individual. Uh-oh. It'll spell it for me. Always mess it up. Always mess that word up. Individual, L-O-A-N, guarantee. I always mess that up too, so I always do spell correct. I know there's a U there, but I'm not thinking. No, I didn't say guarantor. Well, fine. Like I said, I always mess it up. No, you spell it this way. I don't give a... Oh, well, I'm going to have to spell loan guarantor. Sorry. That's what y'all get. Messing with me.
Yeah, we'll do Guarantor. All right. I'll spell it right. All right. We did a loan, the individual loan guarantee. That's the name he gave it. Y'all heard him. Let's skip back just a couple of seconds now. Not a lot of seconds, just a couple.
At the time of origination, which I'm guessing this loan did. Other than that, there would not be any other guarantees from
Lending. Now, of course, a lot of people didn't know about that, but it's been talked about over the years. That's how I know about it. I'm looking for that department who backs up all the conventional loans.
The only loan we would back up is if it had an individual guarantee at the time of origination, which I'm guessing this loan did. Other than that, there would not be any other guarantees from this program.
No, not this program, but it is a USDA issue. It is done through the USDA. I just haven't been able to find out what department because they've given me so many different numbers which have led me nowhere.
You know how they like to be specific and when they respond to you? I don't know of anything regarding that in this program. Sorry, nobody was asking you about that program. My question was specific. That all conventional loans are backed up by the United States government by 90%. Not all conventional loans in this program. Okay, so you have to be keen enough to catch them on their words, to make them understand. So as you hear, I interrupt them. No. Not talking about just this program. I'm talking about all conventional loans. Okay, we get back to the call.
Well, the loan was originated through a lender, correct?
It was originated through a
USDA.
lender. That's correct.
Okay, so it probably had a guarantee, a 90% guarantee, and this originated in 2008, is that what you said?
Now, look, he says it. I didn't say it. He says it probably had a loan guarantee. Did you hear that? He said it. This is what I've been getting for you all. That was 15 calls. That was 15 calls it took to get that. So, people, you're going to have to not accept no for an answer, and you're going to have to keep calling. Who's that? Who's saying that song, Keep Calling? Oh, I can't even think of the name. That's a shame. I can't think of the name of that song. That's called Keep Calling. Anyway, you got to keep calling. Then don't email me telling me the name of the stupid song. Oh, that was by Marie Cyrus, and that was also by Anna Montana and Zenobia Gendovi. I don't care. Sorry. All right, people, this is what we are after. The individual loan guarantee for our account. I need any and all documentation regarding the individual loan guarantee for this account. So when you call the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, you ask them for the individual loan guarantee information. Tell them that's what you want, because that's your putting in the pie. Proof that that loan has been paid off. So I have some critics out there who, there's some idiot saying that I am an agent. And I just was told by somebody we should be using the word agent instead of administrator, executor, beneficiary. But I don't know yet. So if I decide to use the word agent, just like I told him, I'm an agent for the account. I told him that. But not sure if that's what we should be using yet. So we're just temporarily using it. But some people are saying I'm an agent. Some people are saying that
I don't like watching his videos. He's just too animated. He's just too crazy. I can't sit up and watch that. That's just, that don't make no sense. Why can't he just get to the point?
because he figures like this. If he's going to take his time to do all of this research and not charge you for it, then he's going to make you work for the information. It's not going to just put it out in front of you. You're going to have to sit up and listen, and you're going to have to dig, and you're going to have to sit up there and put up with him. Now, if you want somebody to get straight to the point, then go do your own research. And the own research was there was an M, and there was a U, and there was an F, and there was an R and an E and all that mixed in there. So if you can put the M, U, and F together, you understand, oh, I'm sorry, it didn't have the ER, it had the EN. I apologize. Research followed that. So you go do your own research. You go do your own calls. Don't watch the videos, people, if you don't want to take the journey. If you don't want to take the journey, then get off the ride. Tell the ride conductor you've had enough, that you don't want to ride no more, and take it home. I used to say in one of my raps, you better give me at least 9 feet, or you better blend in the crowd. So what I'm saying to you is go and give me some distance. Get away from my videos, get away from my site. You don't need to come here anymore if you don't appreciate the effort. The second thing, go and blend in the crowd and become part of that crowd that you saw in the Matrix. You go and blend in, because that's where you belong. This information is for people who are looking for remedy, people who are looking to put their feet forward, step into some shiznick. That's right, I said it. My word, made that word up a long time ago. Who are willing to step into some stuff, get their feet dirty every once in a while to find the answers. Now, before we continue with this call, because it's going to continue just a little while longer, and I haven't listened to this call since that day. Been too busy making calls to the USDA, to the FDIC, getting complaint forms from the FDIC, calling HUD today, this morning, calling the Rural Development Department, calling so many other different offices. All morning long, yelling, screaming, talking to people, being talked back to. So much, it's just too much going on. And all these conversations are causing me a great deal of stress. I need you all to help me with this. You have Mr. Walden's number right there. Blow that phone up. Okay? And tell him he promised to call Brett back and he never called him. What do you mean? Who is this Brett character? Oh, he was the one talking to you about the loan guarantee, where you said you were going to do the research a week and a half ago and get back with them. And so he told us about this. He told us you didn't call him back, and so we're calling you asking the same question. Where is the information in the law that created the loan guarantee program, the individual loan guarantee program? Because that's what he called it. Do you see how they volunteer information when you know what you're looking for? He wanted to correct me, the same way as many of you try to correct me. If I say something wrong, I can't say something wrong without people correcting me. And that is to my benefit from time to time. So for those of you who don't understand what I do, then let's see if you can do better. As I told you, there are some people out there making videos similar to mine. They're thinking they can do this better. Go do it. Knock yourself out. I'm not in competition with anyone but myself. So go and do it. But nobody was talking to you about this insurance but me. I'm not taking the credit. What I'm letting you know is everybody else is...
Oh, I need the QSIP number. Oh, no, they securitized my loan. No, and even after they securitized, oh, it's in escrow. No, the Treasury got paid for the loan first. Well, they paid the loan first, now I got to pay it back.
They've been...
Oh, no, I got to do an audit of my account.
And nobody's been listening. People, the loan was guaranteed from the beginning. You never owed a dime. I promise you, it's in the law that allows the loan guarantee. I just don't have the time to look for the law. That's why I'm trying to get them to do it. Because it'll be too much research. Too much sitting in front of the computer, and I do too much of that already. This is, oh God, 23.75 months. Almost 2 straight years. Next month, 2 years of this. 2 years, non-stop, without a break. You see, I can't even take a break. So I'm getting ready to move, to relocate, so I can take a break. so that I can have peace of mind.
People say, well, all you got to do is start charging people, and then they would stop. And if you set up telephone consultations, and they would stop. But if they feel they got to...
Most of you cannot afford to pay. That's why you need somebody like me. If I'm not there, where are you going to go? GetOutOfDebtFree.com. People, I like the site. GetOutOfDebtFree.com. Go there. Take a look at it. They have information that is very helpful. I am plugging GetOutOfDebtFree.com. Go there. Take a look at what they're doing. Have I looked at their whole site? No. But I like where they're coming from. I even like the fact that when they communicated with me, it was on a level of appreciation. There was a misunderstanding at first, but they're also trying to help people for free. They take donations, and I say if you're able to get help from them, please give them a donation. If they're able to save you money, then why not support them so that they can save other people money? People, stop being so selfish. Stop thinking that that piece of paper we call dollars is money. It is not money. It is evidence of debt, and the more of it you have, the more debt you're in. We are trying to get credit. We want them to credit our accounts. So, when Bank of America took my $1 million instrument and credited it to their account, now I need to do some research because they credited my funds to their account. And I think that I want access to that account. Because what I didn't realize is that they probably didn't deposit this into their account. They probably deposited it into my other account with the ABA. When I signed up with Bank of America, there may have been an ABA account, sub-account, created under Bank of America's routing number. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that because this is their California routing number, and they may have created this account for me. You see, I'm not even taking care of my own stuff. I'm trying to do stuff for you all. If I just took care of my own stuff, I'd have those 2 new cars by now. Because I now know what to do. But you guys come first. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. Thank you, Mr. Spock, for telling us that, because if you had not told us that, he wouldn't be saying it.
So the needs of the one outweigh no one. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
What you said?
The loan originally originated in 2006.
2006. Okay. So we probably put a guarantee on that through Wells Fargo, and then we honored, I'm assuming, a claim up to for Wells Fargo if they've subsequently filed a loss claim.
Exactly.
Aha! I did it.
Okay.
You see it? I got them to say that they guaranteed the loan up to 90% with an individual loan guarantee. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see what he just did? He just gave us everything we need. Now y'all just got to go on out there and ask questions.
Sorry, let me continue.
Well, let me, I'll have to do a little diligence here and try to track down this loan first and foremost.
Okay, let me give you the individual's name at Wells Fargo in the executive office.
And, by the way, y'all write down, ding, 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 this individual's name with Wells Fargo, and y'all tell him he ain't called me back either about getting that paperwork on this loan and the accounting and the statement of accounting and the this and that and what and everything. Okay? Call him. Bug him. Get on their nerves. Help me out, people. I can't get nothing done on my own. Y'all gotta help. If I provided you any information that's been of use, y'all gotta help. And yes, some of you are running into problems because you're doing things the right way. You're doing things the way we have presented information on and backed it up with information from the internet. It's just they're not honoring it. People, they're doing that on purpose to dissuade so many of you. He just told us it's paid through the Treasury. So when you sent your instruments and items to the Treasury, you were doing it the correct way. Now we need to get the policies and procedures for this. So, what do we need? Individual loan guarantee programs for loans. We need to call up the USDA and find out what the individual loan guarantee programs are all about, the laws backing it. We need to get this information ASAP. You have the phrase individual loan guarantee. These are dealing with mortgages. You don't have to tell them it's backed up by 90%. No, it's called the individual loan program. No, I got this from the USDA. I'm just calling to find out where I get information, the policies and procedures, and how to file a complaint in reference to the individual loan program, because they always have a policy and a grievance procedure. So there's always a complaint section in their procedures. Always. It's a government entity. Always a grievance process. First Amendment, the right to petition the government for redress of grievance. That's where the name comes from. So they must have a grievance process, a grievance procedure. There's always a form.
Okay, shall we continue?
Office, and I'm pretty certain he can narrow down your search as far as the loan numbers and all of that.
Okay.
His name is Thomas Lindeman, Lindaman. It's an 800 number. It is 866-416-5896.
Thomas Linderman, Wells Fargo Bank. This is their executive office number, but you can't get through to nobody without, wait a minute, extension, ding, ding, ding.
40484 is the extension. So 416-5896, extension 40484. And he has another number that he can be contacted at, and it's supposed to be a local number. I've never tried it. But 515-324-0457.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you giving me that information. That'll probably help.
Not a problem at all.
Considerably, and then let me make some phone calls, and then I'll circle back with you after I complete my phone calls.
Okay, I appreciate that very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
You have a good morning.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. An actual conversation with the United States Department of Agriculture. Weren't yelling, weren't screaming. And these are the numbers for Wells Fargo Executive Office. This is an executive office agent. Left a message for this one too, and they didn't return my call. So, if you want to call them and let them know how much you appreciate their services and that you need to get more information on a loan guarantee program, and you need for somebody to call you back, you don't have to call in reference to me. Just call and ask. People, call and ask. Help me out. Can you help me out? I just don't know what to do. I mean, I did want to know, but now I really want to know. Can somebody tell me what it is? All right, ladies and gentlemen. I've had some people tell it,
Oh, I love the wide range of mix of music that you play. Oh, it is so great. But you don't play Metallica. You don't play Guns N' Roses. You don't play 10-inch, 20-inch, 9-inch nails.
ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, I'm not playing this music for your benefit. I'm playing it for mine. Okay? This music helps me to get through all of this. Nobody wants to talk into a microphone just to be talking into a microphone.
Nobody except you.
Well, that's true. But, you know, nobody else wants to do it. Okay, so do me a favor. Give these Wells Fargo idiots a call. The top number and extension is for Thomas Lindeman. He's an idiot. That's right. Thomas Lindeman is an idiot. Now, I'm not putting him down. I'm saying he's an idiot according to the definition of the word idiot. Why? Because he didn't answer any of the questions I got him because he can't understand English. I asked him simple, plain questions in English, and he couldn't get the comprehension, understanding of what you did. Okay, so let's go. But those Treasury money, let's talk about those Treasury money orders. I sent out 18,000 Treasury money orders and not one of them worked. Ladies and gentlemen, I've already shown you all enough proof that when I send stuff out, it works. Because I don't let somebody tell me no. They don't get to tell me, sorry, your bank sent this back. Well, if my bank sent it back, then please send me a copy of the letter from my bank showing that the funds are not there so I can correct that with the person who sent that back to you. Because my financial institution shows me there's more than enough funds there to cover this account. And sure enough, no problems. I get an instrument here from Bank of America where they've negotiated it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't play games with these people. I tell them I'm a grown man. I don't play games. Grown men do not play games. So I'm dealing with children. Ignorant, idiotical. See, another word, children. I just create these words out of thin air. Like they do money. I am so good. But I'm not a banker. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to know, in my life, anyway, there has been heartache and pain, and I don't know if I can take it again, but I'm going to try. I want all of you to know that I will continue to do the best I can to get information to you and for you. But please understand, in a moment, I'm about to start living my life. For 2 years, I've dedicated my life to helping all of you. And now it's time for me to go and live. And when I say live, I'm not talking about working. I'm talking about living. Appreciating life, appreciating nature, appreciating breath, breathing, appreciating feeling. Because many of us are just existing. We have no purpose. Well, in doing these videos and doing all of this, I'm fulfilling my purpose, and that is to help people. That is why I'm here. That is why I exist. And if many of you can't understand that, too bad. Do not email me, text me.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, baby. I know that I'm here to sit up here and write you this email and get on your last nerve by telling you something that you said you didn't want to hear about. That's what I'm here for.
Don't want to hear it. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Many people want to know why. They're trying to figure out why is he doing this. There has to be a catch. There has to be some reason why he's doing this. Okay? You notice, I want you to listen to this song, to the words of the song when you get a chance. And notice how nobody ever gave him the answer to his question. Alright, we're going to take off with this song being the end of our video. Thank all of you for your time, your consideration, your concern, your loyalty. I truly do appreciate it. It is a burden that is much more than one man can bear, but I'll do the best I can to bear a little bit of it. Okay, but you guys are going to have to help me carry this load. Many of you are sending me research information. I don't have time to look at the research information. So if you're going to send me a website or something, point out the highlights. People, it's not, I need you to get to the point, because you don't get to the point. I need you to get to, it's not that type of thing. What I'm asking you to do is to help me figure out exactly where in that document you want me to be reading. This is not the song I thought it was. No. Yeah, we can do Lynn Rhymes. Lynn Rhymes, hey y'all. If y'all don't know about Lynn Rhymes, this is a nice song. I told y'all I'm a music connoisseur. I know some of y'all are going, oh, that's the song. Oh, God, he playing Lynn Rhymes. Hey, Bubba, get on over here. He playing Lynn Rhymes. Oh, that's a fool. You know, he playing Lynn Rhymes, and he just played, he played Foreigner the other day, and he played Journey. Oh, and he played The Cars. Drive. Oh, he just, sorry. All right. We can get through this. We can figure all of this out. We don't have a lot of time, but we can kill this monster. I told you all that we could collapse the entire system. There was a method that we could use to collapse the entire system. Well, this video is letting you know exactly how we were going to do it. We're going to file a complaint where the United States government claims that it backs up every loan. Can you imagine every single homeowner in the last 50 years going ahead and filing a complaint? and the ones who have died, their relatives filing a complaint? Because they would have to pay off those. All of those loans were insured. These banks would have to reimburse these individuals. Do you know what that would do to the entire economic system in this country? That means that everybody who bought a home in the last 10 years who are still in their homes are paid off, so the banks would have to reimburse every single one of them. It's not theory, it's law. Remember, he just told us they have a loan guarantee program. Well, if they have a loan guarantee program, sorry I'm taking this a little bit longer than I wanted to, but if they have an individual loan guarantee program, it's called a conventional loan. But if they have an individual loan guarantee program, that means when you bought your house and they claim you went into default, the banks applied for that loan guarantee. They applied for the insurance. The government credited their account. You notice how he said, I wanted dollars back? I never told him I wanted dollars back. I wanted credit back. But the banks get the credit for each one of those accounts, that 90%. And then they foreclose on you. That is fraud. That is what type of fraud? Is that fraud against the United States federal government? You better believe it, and it's also fraud against you. A lot of banks would go out of business if this was handled the correct way, by the correct group of legalese. People with legal minds. What I had to decide by giving out this information is not that I'm trying to collapse the system. The system needs a jump start. It needs a wake up. It needs a slap in the face. And until we understand that they all are aware of this, Mr. Walden knew exactly what I was asking. He knew exactly what I was asking. As I told you, they're not hiding this from us. It's right there. He brought up the Treasury. So let us play, people. They want to play. I say let us play back. Right now we got attorneys who are controlling things. They control the courts. They control companies. They control everything. We need to get around the attorneys. How do you get around the attorneys? Well, you use the government's laws and rules against them. An attorney can't interfere with this process because if he stopped you from utilizing the process of complaining, he'd be violating the law. So this is not a judicial process. This is an administrative process. They have administrative procedures, and that's what you're looking for. But some of you are going to think about what I said. You want to form groups, you want to make money, then put together a group, 30, 40 people, and go in and file complaints for that entire group. And then take 30% of what you collect when you recover the monies. Some of you are, look, the wheels are turning. I can smell the smoke all the way over here. And don't collect legal tender. Collect credit. Tell them you don't want legal tender. You want it in credits. And you want it in credits of 20% over the current value of dollars. Because dollars are worthless. But that credit, that's backed by the full faith of the United States government. Okay, thank you. That's how you're going to live without me. Good night, goodbye. Thank you for visiting Legal Redress Commission at redressright.org, redressright.com soon. Sorry, got to save that. Redress.right on Skype. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be redoing our PDF section, so please stay tuned for that. We're hoping to do that by the 3rd of July, maybe the 4th. But it will be done. And no, I'm not about to say a prayer. I'm just saying it will be done. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life. And don't forget to call Mr. Walden. And don't forget to call Mr. Thomas Linderman. Because Mr. Thomas Linderman is an idiot. And this is his number and extension. And this is another Wells Fargo executive office number. Oh, I'm sorry. He's ACH, sorry. They're ACH. They're still Wells Fargo executive, but they work for the ASC, ACH, anyway. ASC, American Servicing Company. So I apologize for that. Got to make some corrections, say something wrong. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you have the HUD information. It'll be on the site today. Have a good life. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good afternoon. But whatever you do, if you're going to have it, let it be good. Goodbye.
To the
love each other.
Yeah. Sound good to me.